This is Jo Lawson here. This is my first video actually recording with voice, so please bear with me. But I wanted to show you a new junk journal that I just completed. This is one that I finished for a friend of mine who is actually getting married tomorrow, yay! She's a very dear friend. I actually named my firstborn after her, for real, I really did. And I offered to make her a guest book for her wedding. And I'm very excited about it. It's one of my first altered books that I've ever done. And something about my friend is that she loves Don Quixote. And she majored in Spanish in college. That's where we met. We met at college, and she was majoring in Spanish there. And then she went on to actually get her master's degree in Spanish literature, and she just fell in love with this book. And so I actually found this beautiful copy of it in a local bookstore here in Jacksonville. Shout out to Chamlin's Book Mine, thank you. So I actually have part 1 and part 2, but she's gonna get 1 now, and maybe she'll get part 2 later. So we have this beautiful spine, Don Quixote, and I left the cover blank. I didn't really want to mess with it because I want it to be able to sit on her bookshelf and look like a copy of Don Quixote, and then when somebody pulls it out, they will find this beautiful book. So let's begin our look through here. So as we start the book, it opens up, and I have a hidden signature here. You might have noticed on the cover or on the spine of the book that you couldn't see any of the signature sewn in, and so I did one of my first hidden spines. It's not perfect, but hey, I think it's a good first effort. I started with her beautiful, oh my gosh, this is probably one of my favorite invitations I've ever received. And I mean, I make invitations, so that's saying something. And I love it. I love Florida oranges, love Florida. So I started with her invitation here just to kind of set the tone, and then I have guests down here, so guests will know that this is her guest book. So it's split up into 3 signatures. 1, 2, 3. And these 3 signatures, I kind of have a little theme for them. So the first one is wishes, and these are, you know, when you start a relationship, you have so many things that you're wishing and hope for, and so this is kind of like the start of their relationship. So I have wishes as my first signature, and within it I have lots of little tucks here that we can tuck some cards into. I actually have one that's going in here, but it's drying right now. The ink was a little wet on it. So here, this is also a little pocket. Thought maybe she could add vows in there, something special from her wedding. This is not just a guest book. This is something, memories that she can add throughout when she's finished with the wedding, and she's kind of collecting those memories together. This is a perfect place to put them. So here we have a little postcard, and you'll see throughout the book that I have stamped the word guest, and then I hand wrote the word message, and that's just to let guests that are coming to the wedding know where they can sign, because I have little cards obviously and tags that they can sign on, but then I also have just places right here, like directly on a page, where they could sign the book. Here's another little tag. I have a little tuck here. I tried to pick papers. She has kind of a fall theme, and so I tried to pick pictures, or I tried to pick colors and pages and images that had those colors in them. Here I thought this was nice, like getting your first home. Here we have guest and the message to go with it. This paper is beautiful. I just love this this series from Graphic 45. It's just a beautiful, you'll see them throughout. These little tags, this is it as well. You'll see them throughout. And right now I have the guest message facing forward because I want the guests to know where they can sign, but I would imagine that when it's completed, the graphics or the images would show. So here you can see I've done a lot of sewing along the edges. I had a lot of fun with my decorative stitches, and just some old paper that I had. A lot of the paper that I used, I actually sewed their little, I don't know what you call those, their little title pages. They tell you the name of the paper, and they always have, you know, their brand and everything like that. So you can see this one is from Cartbella paper. It was a beautiful paper that you'll see throughout the book. Here we have some more little tucks, another little place for guests to sign. Right, little messages. Some more, you can see another decorative stitch. These papers are just so beautiful and the colors worked so well together. Here, this one I already signed. This is just kind of for me. And here you see tucked in here, I think this is the first one. Yeah. This is actually a page from Don Quixote. And so I really picked ones, I've never read Don Quixote to be honest, but I tried to pick ones that I thought the title of the chapter was pretty fun. So this is Adventures Come Crowding Thick and Fast, and it's kind of what marriage is all about. So another little page here, you can see I've included the graphic 45. Again, I used that page, the artisan edition. Here I have guest and message. This is the title page from part 1. The Ingenious Gentleman. Here, this one reminded me actually of her soon-to-be spouse, her soon-to-be partner. He is just a really great guy, and him with this cat and little mustache, it just reminded me of him. And then here, this actual little pool for the tag, this is one of the titles of a chapter from Don Quixote that I cut out, The Knight of the White Moon, and I thought he is her knight, and later you'll see she is a beauty, which she is. And I'm not saying that my friend needs some knight to come and save her, but you know, chivalry is not dead. Another little postcard. These are just ones that I had made, stamped. Oh, and you might be wondering about this cat paper right here. Like I said, when I was showing you this tag, it reminded me of him because they love cats, and so they rescue cats, and she's just always been a cat lover. She kind of was the one that made me fall in love with cats. And so here I just found this really funny cat paper, and I just know as soon as she sees it, she's going to love it. So that's kind of a quirky little thing that I've added into this book. And here you can just see this is the center of the first signature. Added a few little fall trees there. Here's the other side of that page from chapter 1. From that title. This is the opposite of this right here. So we have chapter 1. Again, this is another little pocket to add things. I didn't want to fill it up because I want her to, I'm going to explain to her that I want her to be able to add things, maybe even cards from other people that she gets. Here's another little tag. Love these little dragonflies. They're so sweet. Here we go, some more messages from guests. And then here's a big pocket that she could put something oversized in. Some more messages from our guest. Here she has this little postcard, love these, that I stamped out. I added the little stamp to it too. Here we have some more little pockets. This is also a pocket, if you'll remember from the front. Hand sewn, and this is some of the paper that I used, this fresh picked paper. Other little pretty papers. All right, and so now we have finished the first signature, and we are moving on to the second signature. So my first signature, if you'll remember, was all the wishes, especially at the beginning of a relationship, beginning of a marriage. You have lots of hopes and dreams for what is to come. And then for my second one, I have details of a plan, because once you do make that leap, you make that decision, plans begin to be made. Plans begin to be made, and there's no real turning back. So here are details of the plan, and again, this is more areas for guests and messages. I have these little cards throughout, and this one, she always makes me laugh. She's such a wonderful, funny person, so I have laugh in there because I know that's something that she loves to do. Here we have over here heart. Always want to put our heart into things. Here we have an unheard of adventures. That was kind of a title that I liked, that I wanted to include. Here again, that graphic 45 paper that I used, Artisan Style Collection. Love. That's probably one of my favorite paper collections they made. Not their papers are always beautiful, but that is probably one of my absolute favorite. And I was really excited to get to use it in this one, in this junk journal so much. So here we have always, right? Love that. And you can see with my stitching, I love to layer papers. You might have noticed on the edges. I I do love the shabby chic look, and I do that at times, but for this book, I didn't really want to do that. I wanted it to be a little cleaner than that, but I do love to layer different textures and papers on top of one another. Moving on, again, we have some more textures. Here's that cat paper that I used, Love My Cat. This one was called Go Fish, and that's by Reminiscence. So great paper, just funny and really cute. Here we go, another note for a guest to tell them how much they love them, some little love notes. Here we have the strangest and most extraordinary adventure that Don Quixote seems to go on, and believe me, marriage, that is what it's all about. Another little postcard here. Here's the center of the second signature. We have a little fall tree. Here is the other half of our night. So we had our night back here, if you remember, the night of the white moon. And then here is the beautiful Moorish maiden, and that's my girl. So it's kind of a little fun thing that I included in there. I don't know if she'll notice, but that's just something that I put in there. I have another little pocket here. This is one of their pages that they sent out, so you can see. It's kind of a fun thing I just wanted to include, show her that she can add more than just guest messages. This is a little tuck right here, fun decorative stitch. I love the way it showed up on both sides. Another one of the little cards. Of course, we're going to be celebrating tomorrow. Here we are. And then this one's fun. This is the venue. I went by there a few weeks ago, and I picked up this little postcard. This is the one that they give. So what's really cool about this place is that it's actually run now by a women's organization. And so all the proceeds go to a women's organization in St. Augustine, and then they also sell in their gift shop only locally made products by women, which is awesome. Go women. All right, here's a beautiful one. These are both handmade papers that I did. This was like a sunflower. I have a tutorial on how to make this sunflower paper, and then this is a leaf, one of the leaf imprints that you can do on the jelly plate. If you're interested in either of those, you can check out my YouTube videos. Here's another beautiful, oh, look at that. God, this collection was just so gorgeous. You can see the birds, they almost blend in, but really beautiful. So there's another guest message. This is a really beautiful spread right here. I love the colors. And then my friend loves traveling. She actually spent a year in Chile, and so I wanted to include kind of this little map, because I know that's something that they're both passionate about, traveling. Love this decorative stitch. Somehow I managed to get it perfectly down the line. I don't know, probably will never be able to do it again, but I love it. More guest messages. Here's more of that sunflower paper that I created. I love the way it looks here. You can see it on the other side too. Here's some watercolor paper. This is just some fun. These are little bees. They're cute. And so that's the end of the second signature, and moving into the third signature. So you have your wishes, you make your plan, and now you have to create something, and you know, create things in the world. And some of the things that I would hope they would create are some hope, some beauty, and some love, because there just isn't enough of that. So that's the last signature is all about creating their future that they want, that beautiful future that I know is just waiting for them. Found this little, I don't know where I got this, but it says classic wedding portraiture. It's a cute little thing. And here I have the last chapter that I chose is one of the most important chapters. Yes, it is. So here we have a nice little pocket that they could put things in. Again, I hand sewed all of this. This is actually some paper my mom made using some, I think she told me it was walnut stain, some of that walnut ink. Anyway, it looks really cool. I love the way it looked here. Here's more of my little cat paper coming back, and this is actually a little tuck that you could put something in. Nice little, it's just a scrap of paper I had lying around. Here's more of that sunflower. Love it. If you could see it in real life, it has so much texture to it. It's real nice. And you can see I have a little line of cats above it. And here's another tag, and if you flip it over, these are more of my jelly plated leaves. So looking nice. Again, going guest side out so that they can see it and know where to sign. On the back, we have our message, guest. I have a little quote from Don Quixote here about reading and traveling, and I know they're both big readers and travelers, so that's a nice quote. And then another little page from Don Quixote. I have story up here. This is them creating their story. I know this is something they've been planning for a while, so I'm excited to see what they create. Here's another little pocket. When you open it up, this is the center of the signature. This is, again, paper I created. This was actually using some marbling, the Marabou marbling paints. This was some mono printing that I did with them and turned out really beautiful. I might upload that video soon that I did with the Marabou. And then you can see the decorative stitches coming down the side. These are little pockets. This is one of my favorite quotes. Love does not consist in gazing at each other, but in looking together in the same direction, right? Moving forward, creating something that you can be proud of. And so this little pool was just some practices I was doing with the guests, trying to get it straight, and I thought that kind of made a fun little pool. You'll find that about me. I like to put little weird things in there. So anyway, guests can be on this side, and then they could actually write their little note on the back. And that's some more graphic 45 paper. Okay, here we are, and we have another love is kind. Everybody knows that famous quote. Love this series right here that I did. You can see a yellow background paper, and then I have the watercolor paper, and then I have this paper that is the same as the front and back cover paper of the book. This right here, and I just love the way that turned out. More messages and guest names. We're getting towards the end here. So we got our little kitties coming back. Can't leave them out. Few more sunflowers. Here's another little tuck. The other side of that paper. Last visit from the kitties. Here's that beautiful, this is like some of that rice paper. Looks like it's hand inked. I don't know, it's beautiful. But another pocket here. Last little page of Don Quixote, and our last page, and on the back you can see I have XOXO, hugs and kisses, for the end, and then here we go. Yep, this is where it all starts. It only gets better and better from here. So the last thing I wanted to show you is that I did include one little kind of tight tuck here, or tight pocket here, and this is actually my note to the lovebirds, to the newlyweds. That's going to be my little note to them. So yeah, and then we come to the end, and like I said, I'm just leaving it plain. I hope you enjoyed this little look through. I love this guest book. Unfortunately, this one is going off tonight. I'm going to be giving it to her so she can set it up for tomorrow, but I will definitely be making more junk journals in the future, mini ones. We're also thinking about starting some little travel journals that you can take and insert your signatures and remove them, and so that's a fun, exciting prospect moving forward. So please comment, let me know what you think, and suggestions are always welcome. I am definitely not perfect. This is, like I said, one of my first times. Next time I will definitely have some things that I will learn from this book. But, you know, I'm really proud of the end result. I think it turned out really nice, and I think it's something that she is going to love. So thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit, and I'll see you on the next video.